Hello again. I want to talk about creative writing on this episode, which I found really therapeutic when I'm going through difficult experiences, and particularly when you're going through cancer treatment. I started creative writing about 20 years ago when I was just writing fiction, and I got so absorbed in it, totally lost in my thoughts, and so absorbed that actually my cup of tea went cold every time, my sandwiches killed at the corners. I couldn't believe how much time passed while I was writing. And that's really what you need when you're going through cancer treatment, is just to let your brain have a rest and quiet your mind about what you're going through and what the future holds. So I thoroughly recommend it, and everybody's got a book in them, they say, but of course publishing is another matter, and this isn't about that. This is just about getting through, finding a distraction and feeling better. So as I said, when I started it was just fiction, and then when I had my cancer diagnosis and I was going through treatment, I felt the need to write it down. So I started keeping a record of what I went through, how I felt, and I had in mind that I would, maybe one day my manuscript would be published and I could help others that were going through similar treatment. But although I finished the manuscript, I never got it published. I think I just didn't have the energy and the drive at the time to do it, but it really helped to write it all down. And this YouTube channel is a result of that writing, because I thought I'd use the material to reach others and give helpful advice and hints. So I'm working on my father's life story, and I needed to do research about when he was at Oxford. So you might just start with someone in your family who had something interesting happen in their life, or even your own life if you don't want to write about your cancer experience. Now, I would suggest that you get yourself into a comfortable place. So I'm on my dining room table. I've got my notebook computer. I don't like the keyboard, and I do touch type, so I wanted something that I felt comfortable with. So I bought this. It was about £20, separate keyboard, and I can really fly when I get going on this. I got myself a wireless mouse because the wires got on my nerves and made me irritable, and the last thing you need when you're going through cancer treatment is to feel irritable. So make everything as comfortable as possible. Underneath the table I've got a footstool, just one of these collapsible plastic ones, because I find that if I sit for a long time with my legs down, then my legs ache, because I haven't got very long legs and they're sort of dangling a bit. I would also, if I was going to be here for a long time, put a cushion behind my lower back to give me some support. So the other thing that you can do is see whether there is a writers group near you, or even available on Zoom. And when I started writing 20 years ago, I joined my local writers group, which was held in the library in our village. And then I lost track of them. I went on to commute to my job, and I was very busy, so I stopped writing. But when I had finished my cancer treatment and I was still writing my story of that, I went into the library for books about it, and I wondered whether in fact they were still meeting. So I asked, and the librarian said yes, they still meet here. So I went through, and there were actually two ladies that were in the original writers group still there, and they welcomed me with open arms, and I rejoined, and they actually helped me write and edit my cancer story. So once I'd finished that, I went on to my father's life story, which involved some digging around for information about his past, when he went to university and when he did his national service, and all really interesting things. And that in itself, when you do research, That is a really good distraction and connecting you with your ancestors in your past. So I do recommend that. If you can't find a writers group and you don't know where to begin, then there are authors out there. Marion Keyes is one of them. She's one of my favourites, very funny writer, and I would recommend that you read her books if you can, because you will lose yourself, get absorbed in them, and they are fairly serious subjects, but there's a lot of humour as well. But anyway, she has got a website and she puts prompts on there for readers to help them to write their story, to give them an idea or push them forward with their writing. So, as I say, find yourself a comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, where you're warm. Make sure you've got a drink handy, and so that you can concentrate, and just have one idea and see where you get with it. And I think that will really help. It certainly helped me, and I really hope that it will help you.